Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to a special short edition of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Becky is not with us, as we, to be honest, we only said we'd do this about an hour ago. So,
It's true, we did.
Yes. I was ill over the weekend and couldn't do Oscarbation. There was no chance I was going to be able to stay up that late. And I'm kind of grateful as well because it went long. It didn't finish until 3:45 in the morning, UK time, and started at 12. But, we've seen the fallout and whatnot, and we thought we'd put together our thoughts as we aren't doing a normal show this week. I'm not entirely sure people needed to see what we thought of The Last Showgirl.
Yeah.
Particularly. So here we are, but we will be back normally next week. So, my thinking that a complete unknown could preferential ballot it turned out to be complete bollocks. It's mad. That film went 0 for 8.
Yeah.
Even though Timothée Chalamet was a massive focus of the fucking broadcast.
Yeah, they did cut to him a lot. I mean, the thing is, I and Bex will speak about it in the next show, but I liked I liked Complete Unknown. It's a very good film. I don't think there's an award there I would have begrudged it winning, apart from maybe Best Picture, but I wouldn't have been angry about it. I could have seen why it won. I just would have thought, yeah, there's 3 or 4 that I just think were quite simply just better than you. But I think it was just a good film, and it's. A lot of people said the same thing about it, that it didn't really teach you anything else about Bob Dylan, but I don't think you really needed to know more about Bob Dylan. It just needed to be a snapshot of time, I think.
No, totally, yeah. I don't begrudge Sean Baker winning, but I think there's a case to be made for Mangold, because, when we reviewed the film, I remember saying it's a film that, if not every single one of those bits of it is as well put together as it is, then it would palpably be a lesser film. But Mangold managed to put all those bits together. I'm really looking forward to rewatching A Complete Unknown as well, and just settling down into it and just enjoying myself for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, well, I think it might be one of those ones where it does. I think Mangold has a habit of doing that, to be fair. Because I think the last time I watched Ford versus Ferrari, I really, really liked it. And the last time I watched 3:10 to Yuma, I found it to be a lot better than I remember it being. It's just, he makes really good grown-up movies.
Yeah, 100%. I'm mindful that we've just talked about a film that didn't actually win anything. So, what the big news was Anora won 5. Sean Baker personally won 4 Oscars.
Yeah, wild.
Tying Walt Disney for most amount someone has won on a single night.
Yeah, but Disney was,
or is it most amount that someone actually just has?
No, it's the most amount someone's won on a single night.
Okay.
And it's the most amount anyone has won for a single film, because Disney's, when he won 4 in one night, I think Disney's got 8 in total. When Disney won his, it was over 2 different projects, I think.
Right. Okay. And I'm really surprised. To be honest,
There's 2 I'm not surprised about, and there's 2 I am more surprised about.
Go on.
I'm not surprised Mikey Madison won Best Actress. We'll come on to that, because I've got some thoughts about some of the fallout from that in a minute that I want to address. Yeah. But I am surprised that he won I'm surprised. I'm also not that surprised that it won Best Picture, and the reason being, a lot of the time, there's an idea that will films that are a little bit risque in content, which Anora is, struggle to win Academy Awards because a lot of the voters are of an older age. And the thing is, if you throw that back, I would say 20 years, 30 years, absolutely. But now, the guys who are older that are Academy members are people like, for instance, Martin Scorsese, who was making more risque content than this, like 50 years ago. So they're your older generation. And I do think that Anora, when you watch it, and I think I referenced it when we were chatting about the Academy Awards between ourselves on the morning after. Anora feels like it was a movie that was made in the early 80s that would now be getting like a Scream Factory or probably an Arrow release, and we'd all be going, this is fucking great that stuff like this is getting a proper 4K. It's just got that kind of vibe to it that is there, and I think so. I can see why it ended up winning. I would have had it as. I'm glad it won. I would have had it as my third, maybe fourth favourite to win, and my maybe second or joint second, my personal choice to win it. But the other bit I was going to say there is, but I thought that if it won Best Picture, it had to win one of Best Director or Best Writing. I didn't think it'd get both. One or the other.
Yeah, it's the sweep element of it with those that is surprising. What just on your point as well about like why it won. I think the international element of the Academy is big on this as well. You know, like a more European sensibility will vibe with something like Anora, which and I thought would potentially help The Brutalist as well.
Yeah.
But then it seemed to, like, the popular thinking among the folks in the know, it was that it was between Anora and Conclave in the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, between those two, I'll take Anora. I like Conclave, but come on.
Yeah. I like Conclave, but if Conclave would have won Best Picture, it would have been a bit like, really, that when there was these to choose from? Really?
Yeah.
Like even a complete unknown, or but that when The Brutalist, Anora, and The Substance were there.
Yeah, no, totally. And I thought Baker like did a great job in the speeches as well. The way that he was able to give a different spin on all of them. I liked his best editing, saying like, I think the director should have been fired. with the amount of material that I had to go through was pretty good. And then it was the best director speech where he was talking about going to see things in the cinema, and like the people need to start having that relationships with films in a cinema.
Yeah.
Which was great. Bray Corbett had been kind of doing that kind of thing as well, but Baker had really been shouting from the rooftops multiple times about that, and it was really good speeches.
It was, yeah, and the thing that I really liked about Anora winning and then Sean Baker winning for directing is there's been an awful lot of chatter that has been going on for a good few years now about people saying, the problem with cinema nowadays is it's all just blockbusters. There aren't any sort of low to mid budget. There isn't your $10 to $20 million movie that is just out there for grown-ups that you can go to the cinema to watch, and there isn't that because every cinema is just full of your new superhero movie or your new blockbuster. It's like, no, they are there. Can we stop with that now? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 of the Best Picture nominees were those movies, and one of them's fucking won it. And it's, the Sean Baker isn't now going to go, right, fucking won a Best Director, and then it's going to be announced fucking next week that Sean Baker is going to be the new fucking director of Shang-Chi 2. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
He's going to go, or a studio's going to go, right, we want to give you this much. And he's going to go, yeah, I can make 3 movies with that. So give me it, but I'm going to make these 3 movies. All right. Okay. You're going to make 3 movies with it. Yeah, and I'm going to have final cut on all of them.
I mean, because that's the interesting thing. It's like around when the Daniels won for Everything Everywhere All at Once, they signed their next film with Universal, and there's quite a lot of mystery around it. It comes out next year. Nobody really knows anything about it. And there's that kind of flex, but then there's also that flex that Sean Baker is going to do, which is, I can probably make anything I want up to a certain amount of money for the rest of my life now because I am Oscar-winning writer, director, editor, producer Sean Baker.
I am one man of film machine Sean Baker.
Yeah, and I mean, it's some real using powers for good stuff, and which is great because when the Florida Project came out, I remember being super sniffy about Baker. And, like me being, I feel like he's Emperor's New Clothes. And I was wrong. And I need to give the Florida Project another shot.
But then again, you're looking at that. I still haven't seen the Florida Project. But I liked Red Rocket. And I really liked Honora. And the thing is, he's been quite honest in interviews I've seen with him. Where he said the great thing is with every film, I get better as a filmmaker. And it's almost like you're looking at it and going, do you know what? That actually kind of tracks.
I will say, it just popped in my head, it did make me laugh that Greatest Day by Take That was played, like an instrumental version of it was by an orchestra, was played multiple times at the Oscars on Sunday.
Yeah, and he's a big Take That fan, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, Gary Barlow must not, like... the luck that guy has.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But yeah, so I mean, Honora, it's a worthy winner. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it would have been my pick for many, if any, of these categories, but you can't argue with it.
No, that's it. I mean, I would have liked the Substance to have won Best Picture just because I think it would have been funny. I think Brady Corbett, or Corbett, whichever one we're going for.
He's saying Corbett. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to be less of a douche about people who.
The thing is,
like, he made The Brutalist. Yeah, I like the guy.
I like the guy.
Corbett.
I only found out the other day that he was in the Thunderbirds movie.
He was.
Yeah, which is fucking... When someone put up a story and went, hang on a minute, this guy made this. And I was like, wait, what the shit? That's, for some reason, my cognitive dissonance just went overload and I couldn't see for a minute.
I tell you what, though, if you haven't seen it, his Criterion Closet video...
I've not watched it yet, no.
It's amazing. He does the strategy that I would do of say fuck all and just take loads. And he takes like box sets and stuff as well. Like the value of what he's got in his bag is probably the highest I've ever seen from any Criterion Closet video.
Michael Shannon's was always great because he kept apologising for taking stuff.
Oh my God. I'd be a fiend.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that you could have said, maybe should have said that he would have been more my favourite for Best Director, just because that film, I can see why people would take issue with it, because it is incredibly, it's an undertaking. It is The Brutalist. And so I think there's an idea that not a lot of Academy will have actually watched the whole fucking thing. Caroline Faget, that just again would have been great because it's such a fun movie. Just going on to the Mikey Madison winning, I've seen a lot of people online, which there's a lot of this trend of green screening, where people are looking into something with images behind them and just acting really self-righteous and angry.
Yeah.
And there's been an awful lot of people going, this winning this is literally the plot to the substance. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's just not. It's not. Like, it's just not the plot to the substance. Would Demi Moore have been a worthy winner? Absolutely. Should they have done the diddle and put her in for Best Supporting Actress? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because Kieran Culkin won it for Best Supporting Actor, and he's the main fucking actor in that movie. I don't care what anybody says. But again, Mikey Madison is literally the entire film. I'm fairly certain. Is there more than one scene in the movie without her in it? Don't think there's many, is there?
I mean, I'm trying to think.
I think there's a bit where the husband, can't remember his name now, off the top of my head, goes to the lap dancing club.
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose technically you've got where the guy's phoning the priest and he's in the middle of the service and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But look, Substance, favourite film last year. Demi Moore winning an Oscar would have been delightful. Yeah, but it's also insane that The Substance got nominated for 5 Oscars.
Mm-hmm. And it won one.
It won one. And before the Golden Globes, no one was saying it was going to be Demi Moore. It was when she won that suddenly people were saying it was going to be Demi Moore. Mm-hmm. Before that, people were saying it was going to be Mikey Madison. Mm-hmm. And that turned out to be the case. And this whole Demi Moore getting nominated for The Substance is basically the anti-Substance. Mm. She now has a career revitalization as her current older self.
Yeah.
It's just lazy TikTok number crunching, get up votes on Reddit bollocks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, it's not like, and I'm going to compare it to somebody who, political views notwithstanding, is one of my sort of movie heroes. It's
Donald Trump.
It's different to Stallone getting nominated for Creed, in the sense that I still think Stallone should have won for Creed there. But let's face it, there was, with the kind of movies that Stallone makes and will go on to make and did go on to make, it was unlikely he was ever going to get nominated again. Whereas, and look, I think Stallone is a good actor, but he's also physically, he's a limited actor in what he can portray. And granted, the guy might go on to win Emmys and things for Tulsa King, so there's that element there. Demi Moore is actually a good actress and has been a good actress for 40-odd years. There is a weird little period in the 90s where, from the mid-90s, where she made a few movies where it was more focused on her physical appearance than it was on her acting ability. But, she cropped up in a lot of supporting roles in things where she was very good. So there is definitely a world where Demi Moore, in the next 10 years, could get nominated at least once or twice more and probably win. If she so wishes to go, well, I'm going to do that role and I'm going to do that role.
I mean, and the thing is, I think that because she lost, I think there is a chance that she will actually go for the more Oscar-y kind of material. I hope she doesn't do a Mickey Rourke after The Wrestler and just go, I'm just going to be in Iron Man 2 and talk about my bird for 2.5 hours.
The thing is,
yeah.
I don't think she will, because she's really fucking rich and doesn't have weird debts. Whereas Mickey Rourke, I reckon he's got weird debts. I reckon there's like a fucking Chihuahua breed that he owes millions to.
Yeah. But Mikey Madison having an Oscar, I don't know, good for her.
Yeah.
I hope that she goes on to, like, Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence, like, have one of those careers where it propels her into interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I hope it's one of those where in a few years' time we're seeing her basically leading stuff and being able to kind of like lead, like, because she led this movie, but it being a name like Jennifer Lawrence got to that stage, and like Emma Stone is at that stage, and you've got people that are there. It'd be really cool if we can have like another one like Timothée Chalamet is doing as a male performer.
I will say, I think Demi Moore would have given a way better speech.
Yeah, I do agree there. It was very much a don't know what to say.
I mean, it was thanks to these people and 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 these people. Yeah. It wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't quite. It wasn't quite Joe Pesci's.
No.
Thank you. It's a privilege. Bye. Fucking get off.
But as a segue, wasn't Adrian Brody's either.
Oh God. The thing is with Brody is he comes back like every 7 or 8 years to remind people he's there, even though he's been there and he's been fun in Wes Anderson movies and other bits that's been there. But then he comes back and just drops just a banger of a performance. But then also acts a little bit like, can you just go away again, please?
It really, like Chalamet would have had a really interesting speech. This was not an interesting speech, and it was long. And, the trying to be played off and, like, this isn't my first rodeo, but at the same time, not also getting the fact that maybe I do need to focus up.
The other bit, is he spent a long time doing a speech, but didn't say anything.
That exactly that as well, like calling for peace and stuff like that, but not actually making any kind of political points, which, other than the best documentary win, was kind of weird that there was really nothing political in any of the fucking speeches.
I don't dislike, in a way, in the sense that, yes, there's a platform that people can use, but also as well, there's an element of, do you know what? There's maybe a time where this is the year where we don't need to use that platform. We just need to get through it without there being a reactionary fallout at the other side of it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm not. I suppose I'm not expecting Mikey Madison or Kieran Culkin to come out. Yeah, do you know what? Actually, no, you're right. I don't think I probably need to hear that from any of these people anyway. I will say as well, though, I also do not need to hear Kieran Culkin basically say to his wife, "You owe me another kid now."
Yeah,
that was just weird.
Yeah. It was a bit weird. He's said it a few times as well, hasn't he? Like on this point.
Yeah.
Like he's really fucking hammering it home. Like to the point of where if she isn't pregnant in the next 6 months, he's going to be like on talk shows going, I mean, I'm getting solicitors involved. You all heard me.
Yeah, quite. I mean, it was...
It's almost like he's not actually had sex since the last time they had a kid. And he's just like, fucking... And she's gone, look, we only have sex to have kids. And he's going, just fucking throw me a freaking bone. Just won an Academy Award.
But, I mean, it's just the fact that they, along with Saldana, were basically nailed on. They were basically nailed on. And then Brody has got gum in his mouth, and he's throwing that to his partner, which is gross.
Yeah, that was
and
just he's a weird guy. I am now back to the point of where I don't think the person he was playing is that far away from him.
Yeah,
I think it's him turned up a little bit.
But like, they should. I don't know, man. It kind of felt like they were both, Culkin and Brody were doing this stuff off the dome, and it's just like you knew you were gonna win.
Yeah.
Like Kieran Culkin, are you actually gonna use your Oscar speech to, like, say, like, tell a story about how you said to your wife, "You're gonna let me inseminate you if I win an Oscar"?
Yep. It's just it's a weird energy. But he's always had a bit of a weird energy as a grown-up actor.
And the thing, he'll never get nominated for anything ever again.
No, I mean, and don't get me wrong, he's a good actor and he's a fun screen presence, but he's enjoying an incredible moment in Succession and post-Succession that I don't think he's even probably got the energy to keep up.
No, yeah, for sure. And I don't know. Just both of them. I hope they use these powers for good now. And Brody did say that in his speech. He was like, I'm more appreciative of what I've got, and I'm going to work on that, and blah blah blah. And I hope he means that. Saldana's speech, decent. I like that. It obviously meant an awful lot to her.
Yeah.
And, that fair play. I'm not going to begrudge her because Zoe Saldana having an Oscar feels like a cool thing.
Yeah. Crap film, innit?
You watch Emilia Perez, yeah?
I have, yeah. Yeah, I have. Shit. Right, no. Right, oh, no. Yeah, it is. Shit. I don't get it. I spent my entire time watching it going, I don't get it. I don't get why Jackson had thought that this was a good idea. I don't know why he thought this was. I don't know why he had this idea. Then when, do you know what this is missing? This script is missing a musical. It needs musical numbers. It looks good. It's a good looking movie.
Yeah, it does.
It's a really good looking movie. I don't think any of the performances are bad in it. It's just a bit. It's a bit boring. I really struggled with it. It's what? It's about 2 hours 10 minutes long.
Something like that. Yeah.
And honestly, I felt like I was watching it for days.
It's wild how with a film that has those things happening in it, it is just a bit. Just get on with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't vibe with it.
I'd like just the whole. Right, I'm gonna fake my death, and then I'm gonna pretend to be my own sister and get my wife and my kid to live with me. And how dare anyone think that's weird?
Yeah,
but I mean, like that's just
it is regardless
of regardless of the trans stuff. Come on, that's weird to anybody.
Yeah, it is. It's just weird. It's like, I want to make a trans movie. Yeah, that just is bad for the trans community.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah. And for Mexico.
Yeah. When quite literally the Walter Hill movie that starred what's her name?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is probably better for the trans community. Then you done the wrong thing.
I
just have a feeling there's going to be an interview in a few years' time with Zoe Saldana going, look, I am proud of my performance in that movie. That is all
she's already come out after the Oscars saying that she's sorry if they offended anyone. They genuinely didn't mean to.
And I'm a little bit like,
right, now you've got your Oscar, you're saying that. Fair enough.
Yeah, like you say, but you're holding a little gold man saying that. So
yeah,
there's a little bit of a, are you sorry though?
I mean, like,
Just somebody should have
she's
read
done
the
her
script
Hollywood
and gone
work
and gone. Not really sure about
look,
this.
In the end of the day, out of the 5, having rewatched Wicked this past weekend, I would have given it Ariana Grande. So, there you go. I'm a problem as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given it to either of those. Ariana Grande is playing herself.
She's fucking funny.
She's funny in it,
like,
but a hair flick don't make an Oscar.
No, it doesn't. But I don't know. I think she's really good. But hey, I thought Monica Barbaro was really good. But hey, she's got her own little gold man in Andrew Garfield now, apparently. So
apparently, yeah,
that's an award enough, I think.
Him saying to Goldie Hawn, did you see that?
Yes,
that was just it. It's just like it's like Andrew Garfield before he goes up to do anything like that, or before he goes up to what is it? It's like he nudges his publicist and goes, "Watch how adorable I'm about to be."
But like also like I'm gonna be intensely sincere in a way that if I didn't look like me would be creepy, but I look like me.
Yeah, exactly. If there was if there was other people did that, let's say if Tom Hardy did that, you'd be like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He looks like he's about to pull a dead bird out of his pocket and start eating it.
Yes, yeah. And then Goldie Hawn just like kind of being a bit like, I don't really know what's going on. Just help me out through this. Yeah, bless her. Other things, I thought it was weird that In Memoriam didn't have a singer. Yeah, and it was just. Yeah, I don't know.
Did that recently? Did that not last year? They did it a couple of years ago. They did that. It's almost like somebody cancelled. Maybe Harrison Ford was going to sing.
I do wonder what Harrison Ford was going to do.
I think he was going to be presenting. I read this somewhere. I think he was supposed to be presenting Editor. I think.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I get that Gene Hackman was great and he was a 2-time Oscar winner.
Yeah.
And I get that it was very recent. I thought it was kind of weird that they actually literally did like a 2-minute thing just for Gene Hackman when looking at that In Memoriam, there were some like fucking titans.
Yeah, there was some biggies this year, weren't there? We're going to have this, I think, for the next 10 years. I think we're going to have biggies going every year.
But I mean, yeah, and I don't know, man. Like, there's a part of me that kind of feels like, were they going to do a David Lynch thing and it got bumped?
But then just do it. Just do it. Have the In Memoriam. Do you know what? You can have the In Memoriam where you literally have it going out there and somebody comes out and does... Carl McLaughlin comes out and does 30 seconds talking about David Lynch. And then,
yeah,
not for everybody, because you don't need to do it for everybody. It's not that they aren't more important, but imprint on film is different. So David Lynch's imprint on cinema, even though it's only just over a handful of movies, has been quite significant. And Gene Hackman won 2 Academy Awards, and just look at that guy's 90s.
It's just, I don't want to be rude, but Gene Hackman had not made a film for over 20 years.
No.
And, David Lynch had not made a film since, 2005? No, 7. No, when was Inland Empire?
2009, maybe?
Anyway, regardless,
so why?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know.
2006, so 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something specific for Gene Hackman like that, it almost feels like when Clint Eastwood dies, they need to do like a 25-minute section or something like that. When Scorsese dies, basically just like give over an hour.
The Oscar just needs to be Marty.
Yeah. Just a smiling Marty for a year. Just call it the Martys for a year. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I get it because it was recent.
Yeah.
But
what did you think to the Bond thing?
Pointless.
But it's a little bit like Bezos rang him and went, "We've got Bond now. We need to fucking do it up. Are you having many songs on there? Well, yeah, we are. Can you just make them shorter and I'll give you 100 million quid and you can just do a Bond segment? Well, you haven't made a movie in 5 years. Fuck it. Have someone dance."
Apparently, it was because Barbara Broccoli got something at the Governor's Awards. But literally, one of the COVID years, I think it was the one where they didn't have any presenters, they did that really weird thing where Tony Hawk and... it was like a BMXer, a surfer, and Tony Hawk got on stage and talked about how James Bond was extreme.
Yeah.
And then they did a montage of James Bond stunts.
I fucking thought there was a James Bond thing. Wasn't that to celebrate 50 years or something like that?
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's the fact that he did that, and then 3 years later, when there's no Bond film in sight at all, they do 5-10 minutes on really random selection of artists. And Margaret Qualley doing a dance sequence, despite the fact that neither she nor her mum have been related to Bond in the slightest.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Bond fan. A lot of people have been saying it almost felt like an in memoriam for Bond. Now that Amazon have got it, and it
did a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch I watched a lot of speeches, and I watched the opening monologue, but I didn't watch the Bond thing because I was just a bit like, don't really want to watch a Bond kind of dance number. And then Bex messaged me and went, "Margaret Qualley in that red Bond dress, woof." And so I was like, fuck it, I've got to watch it now.
No, yeah, and that was cool that she got involved in that. I mean, fair play to her. She doesn't need to do that.
But just announce her as Bond already.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, it was just like, what? Are they soft launching her as the next Bond girl?
No, just Bond.
Yeah, sure. No, I mean, Bond would be great. That'd be fucking hilarious. I know we've only got a few more minutes, so I'm just going to say as well, I thought Conan O'Brien did a very good job.
He did, yeah. He did do a good job. I am not Conan O'Brien's biggest fan, in the fact that he's one of those US presenters that I think you think you're fucking mint.
Yeah.
Why do you all think you're fucking mint? Why do you think you're mint? Why does Ellen think she's mint? Why does Jimmy fucking Fallon think he's mint? Why do all you people think Jay Leno thought he was mint? Letterman, I think, kind of thought he was mint. Why do you all think you're mint? You're all right.
Yeah, I mean, I think he over-egged it at the end of the monologue with the "I won't waste time" musical number.
Yeah.
Again, when the show's 3 hours 45, obviously they don't know it's going to be quite that long, but if it's already pushing 3.5 hours, which they would have known, maybe don't do that. But I mean, the thing where he was just like, "We're halfway through the show, so now here's the time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a paedophile," was incredible.
And I mean, having a pop at what's her name from Amelia Perez.
Yeah,
that felt.
What was it?
I almost felt mean.
Something has over 450
Honora.
uses of the F word, Honora, which beats the amount that Carla Sofia Cascon's publicist had. I mean, great.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, the fact that the camera just kind of went bang, and it's like, fucking hell, fair play.
And then, if you're going to tweet about me, my name's Jimmy Kimmel. Good, Yeah, he can come back. He was fine. Just maybe not another musical number. And the whole.
Just sing Monorail.
Yeah. But no, I mean, him reacting to his own, like, ain't I a stinker kind of things, where he was kind of, like, dancing around and whatnot, where he was like, yeah, that was a bit cheeky, wasn't it? You know, but like you say, it's a lot of people's style.
Yeah.
But at least he and his writing team had funny shit to say.
They went fun.
Yeah. Right, there we are. Mark needs to go and watch Liverpool. Probably maybe win against PSG. We'll see.
I'll take a draw, and then we'll take them back to Anfield, and then hopefully we can have a bit of a calm run to the semis where we're going to meet either Arsenal or one of the Madrid teams. I mean, or PSV.
Miracles could happen.
You never fucking know.
We will be back next week with a Mickey 17.
Yeah.
A lot of what we've been watching, I probably will have watched the entire new season of Drive to Survive to get ready for my annual review of Drive to Survive.
Does that come out this weekend?
Yep, it's out on Friday, baby. 10 episodes.
Nice. Oh, I bet you're going to have a great Friday, aren't you?
It is going to be a treat, sir.
That's very nice.
Yes.
I've watched a good amount of John Carpenter, and I rewatched a film that I am going to call an absolute stone cold fucking masterpiece.
Nice. I've watched a triple bill of Racism.
Ooh.
And
you've watched. Yeah, I've watched one of those as well.
Oh, interesting. There will be various other things. I'm planning on watching the 4K of Cruising.
Yep.
So
I sat down, just the last thing, I sat down to watch Emilia Perez 3 times, right, at work. I was going to watch it at work. I thought that it gets it out and I don't have to watch it. And I started watching it, got 10 minutes into it and went, do you know what? I'm at work and I need this to be like a little bit of time away from work in my lunch when I'm watching a movie. I don't think I can cope with watching something that is just making me go, why is time to... I wish I was back at work. So I switched it off and watched Gleaming the Cube instead.
That's good stuff. That'll do.
I did then finish it at home.
Yeah. Oh, Emilia Perez. All right, you don't have to talk about it on the next show. I'll let you off. You've done it now.
I've done it, yeah. I've taken that bullet.
Yeah. Right. Okay, fuck off. Bye.
Bye.